Let's talk about Alien Earth, in which last night we basically got a mini Alien movie. So this is pretty much a flashback in this episode in Space No One, where we pretty much see what exactly transpired on that ship right before it crash landed into Boy Cavalier's hands, and we're in the mess we are in today. So let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. We got a ton of videos today. I got a video on Alien Earth, of course, as you're listening to it right now. We're going to talk about The Conjuring Last Rites in a review, and we also are going to break down the new trailer for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. So very, very exciting Wednesday. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the episode in Space No One. So this episode pretty much opens up 2 weeks prior to where we see the outbreak occur, but now we see that this is something that somebody was planning to do from the beginning, and now the rest of the spaceship crew have to figure out who it is that's doing this. So what we see happen throughout here is just a nightmarish horror film, because we see all of these different specimens, the eye, the face hugger, xenomorph, whatever you want to say, just going on a rampage. This is truly a house of horrors, but a spaceship of horrors, if you want to call it that. And I was just so intrigued by the way it was like sort of positioned, because you start to see one creature going around rampaging throughout, and then the other ones take advantage of the crew being distracted to start to come out themselves, and I was just like, they're not catching a break. And what's really crazy about watching this episode is that you know they're all dead, and that's pretty much what you're seeing here is just exactly how they died. We see that Morrow is basically trying to figure out what's the best plan in order to save the specimens. He says it from the beginning, I don't care if y'all live, I don't care if y'all die, I don't care if the spaceship gets destroyed, all that I care is that these specimens get to Yutani. That's pretty much my sole mission, and that's pretty much what I'm going to do. And we see it throughout the episode that he makes decisions in which they are going to preserve these specimens, no matter if somebody has to die in order for them to do so, which kind of starts to irritate the other crew members here. But he's really also on a mission to figure out who is the one behind the sabotage. So we learn that somebody actually did sabotage the ship, and they don't really figure this out until the end, when we find out that Petrovic was actually the one behind this, and that is because he is taking orders from Boy Cavalier now, and this is something that Murrow finds out. It is then revealed that he was promised a hybrid body if the ship crashes into Prodigy territory. That way Boy Cavalier can take over and the specimens would be his, as we're seeing it play out now in the present time. We see that Petrovic eventually kills one of the members and then is trying to kill Morrow until Morrow comes through and kills him as well. Morrow is then able to go into the control room and seal himself in. And I think something we really have to discuss is that this eye here is definitely looking to become one with the xenomorph and possibly create something new. As we saw at the end of the episode, the xenomorph and the eye had a 1v1, and it looked like the eye could have gotten the upper hand if the xenomorph wasn't so damn thick. But pretty much I think that that's what we're going to be seeing in the next episode, possibly trying to happen again. And we'll discuss more of what I think with that as well in my theory video tomorrow. But stay tuned. But what did you think about this eye truly becoming the one that you got to keep an eye out for, if you know what I mean? But anyways, let me know what you thought about that. Let's keep going. As we see the final crew member killed by the xenomorph right outside the door. Everybody's now dead, and we eventually see Morrow lock himself in the panic room as he awaits for the crash. And I'm gonna tell you, there are so many of these moments throughout this episode where I was just like, they are really having fun, just really making these aliens and these beings just into these very terrifying creatures. The scene with the ticks and everything with the guy that had him inside of him, just so disturbing, honestly. And I was just like so like squeamish about it. It was just crazy. It was so great, honestly, how they were able to pull this episode together and really pay homage to the Alien films before. And I think that we are definitely in good hands with the Alien franchise. I mean, all the other franchises need to take notes on what Alien Earth is doing, just really trying to push the envelope, but at the same time keeping true to its roots as well. Really, really great episode here. But in the final sequence of this episode, we see that Morrow meets with Yutani, and talks a little bit about what exactly is the next game plan. Miss Yutani, of course, is the granddaughter of the Yutani that Moro knew, because Moro was sent out on this expedition 65 years prior. Of course, by that time now, the grandmother has now passed away, and now the granddaughter has taken over. And we hear this conversation that they have about the grandmother being so fond of Moro. Know that Moro was taken in by Yutani when he didn't have anywhere to go. He also had a palsied arm, which means that that's why he has like a cybernetic arm now. So he has been with the company since he was young, so pretty much molded by them, and has this very, I would say, like loyalty that he feels towards them, and that is why he is going to do whatever it takes to get the specimens back from Boy Cavalier. As he tells Yutani, I will bring these specimens home and I will then kill Cavalier. But Yutani says he agreed to arbitration and that they're going to meet tomorrow to have the lawyers fix this. But he says, unless the lawyers are soldiers, we're going to have to do this my way. And then he leaves. Pretty much what we see here happen now is that I don't think that Moro wants any conversation with Boy. I think he is ready to just go out and kill him. Moro knows that Boy planned this all along, and he's pretty much like, what is there even to talk about with Boy? He did this on purpose. Like, it's not like this just happened to him and he's just like, oh, I didn't know. I thought I could keep them if they were in my part. No, he planned this from the beginning. So I think that's why Moro is more pissed off, because we learned in the episode that Moro had a family, a daughter, who died during this expedition. So now for Boy to come and swoop in all the hard work that Moro did himself and all of the sacrifices he made were in vain, it sort of rubs him the wrong way. And like he said before, this isn't just about Yutani, this is about my work, and this rich asshole is just going to come in and take it. No, I'm not going to allow that. And I think it really ties in with what we see a lot happen today with so many people that are the labor force for these companies, and the CEO at the top does shit. They don't do shit, sit on their ass and do nothing, reap all of the rewards and take all of the glory, while people sacrifice their time, their health, and all of this in order to work for this company that doesn't give a shit, really. And it's kind of a double-edged sword with Moro, right? Because he is doing the same for Yutani in a way, but I think he just feels a little bit more of a loyalty because they showed him, I would say, in quote-unquote kindness when he was taken in as a young boy with them. And it's going to be interesting to see where this will go and what exactly will happen. We have about 3 episodes left in the series, so things are really going to hit the fan. The next episode is going to be the one where Yutani and Cavalier will have that meeting. I'm curious to see how that meeting is going to go. Moro doesn't really want to go forth with this. He wants to just take Boy out and take the specimens, which, as I said, you can get where he's coming from. He feels like he's been slighted. Like everything he did was for nothing, so of course he's going to want to come out and seek some revenge on Boy Cavalier. So very excited to see where this is going. I'm going to make a theory video that will be out tomorrow. We're going to talk about what exactly you can expect in this new episode. We'll look at some images and all of that and talk more about Alien Earth. So very excited to get into that with you. Check out our review for The Conjuring Last Rites today, as well as our trailer breakdown for 28 Years Later. As always, that's going to do it for me. I'll see all of you next time. Hit that subscribe and notification bell. 50,000 subscribers is our goal. As always, stay safe, stay positive.